This is Paul. I was looking in this law dictionary and they have a word called death. The termination of life in medicine. This state is defined as one in which the heart has stopped beating, respirations have ceased, and brain waves, as determined by electroencephalography, no longer exist. See also determination of death. Now you can appreciate that. Let's say you cloned my deceased grandmother Eunice and made a younger copy of herself. As a single man going throughout the world as I plan to do, if I was to run into my grandmother's clone when she looked 19, maybe 20 years old before she married my biological grandfather, Raymond Arthur Arp, I might have been attracted to her. Now, wanting to know the genetics of all of those that are deceased could come into play in what relationships Americans have. Now, there are those in the Fish family that they would say, well, I'm the senior, okay, I'm 95 years old, and I've had more illegitimate children than any fish in the family. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. But they got involved in some top secret experimentation because they were always having sex during the ovulation. And as so often happens, being a single man, I see my grandmother when she was 21 years old, and I'm like, oh, you looked so good. Now, when you can manipulate the genetics of any citizen and you can clone them to be any age that you want, if I were to have sex with my grandmother's clone because it was made from her genetics and we had a little tiny baby, it would be an inbred baby. Now, most people realize you don't have sex with your grandparents. And as attractive as I have found my grandmother in the past, I remember I was like 5, 6 years old and I had seen her without her clothes on when she was going to take a bath. Ow! And I know a lot of people would say, well, that's perversion. But when you're 5 years old, you really don't pay any attention to it, to tell you the truth. Now, I'm just going to need to know where are the genetics of all of the deceased seniors in every pig family. And exactly what age did you decide to clone them at? My grandmother was, well, a larger breasted woman. Yep, German. And being 46, going to be 47 this month, if I was to see a 21-year-old clone that looked like her when she was 21, I tell you what. Now, I'm going to want to know all the senior fish family pigs and where's their genetics?